Hello, everybody. This is Irene, and welcome to the webinar, The 5 Steps to the Real Weight Loss Solution Without All the BS. Oh, sorry. So welcome to the webinar. I am going to get started straight away because I'm a minute late, so I'm going to get right into it. So like I said, my name's Ireene Siniakis. I'm going to be with you for the next 40 to 45 minutes or so, and I'm going to cut to the chase and give you some golden nuggets. So I hope that you have got a notepad and pen. I'm going to give you lots of value and lots of information in this webinar. So I do want you to take some notes. And great to see so many of you on the webinar, and even from the US. I think it's about 4 in the morning there. So well done on coming on. So what I want for you on this webinar, I want for every single person here to finally get the answers to gaining and maintaining good health and losing the weight. You know, I truly want this to be your best life, and I want you to live to your fullest potential, because I believe that without your health, you are limited. So I do hope that you stick with me right to the end of the webinar. I want to make sure that your needs are met, and you will have an opportunity at the end to ask me some questions. And if you do have any questions, just pop them in the questions box as we go. Or if you want to raise your hand and speak to me personally, like I said, raise your hand and we'll get on to some questions at the end. So once again, I commend you for being on this webinar. I'm sure there's plenty of other things that you could be doing with your time. But you know, I believe everything happens for a reason, and there was something in my marketing that sparked your interest to come along here today, or you know, something just caught your eye, caught a glimpse of the Facebook ad or whatever it might be, and you had a calling to come here. So the universe, or the higher power, God, whatever you name to call it, whatever you wish to call it, has a bigger vision for you, and I truly believe that. And it's something has drawn for us to connect here today. So I do commend you for coming along. So if you can relate to what I'm saying, I want you to firstly just see whether you're in the right place. So I want you to know that you know it's not your fault, and that you're feeling overweight and feeling stuck and frustrated, because there is so much BS out there in the marketplace. You know, technology was supposed to free up our time, but instead it has invaded our lives. You know, we are forever connected to our computers, our mobile phones, our tablets, and now with social media on board, we are forever checking our Facebook and LinkedIn accounts, and our brains are basically just fried. You know, it's also not your fault. The media plays mind games with you. That food advertising that is strategically placed at the right times to trick your mind into thinking and needing, you want and you need it and want it right now. And you know what I'm referring to, like those swirls of chocolate, those, ice cream commercials after dinner and those sorts of things. And what about the food industry, who has, on purpose manipulated our food in the last 50 years alone, adding an extra 75,000 chemicals to our, causing our bodies and our minds to become addicted and sick, and we don't even know it. And what about the weight loss industry and the gimmicks that they're selling you, the latest pills, the potions, the shakes? It's basically just all bullshit, and it's just big business. You know, there is way too much conflicting information out there on how to lose weight, and how on earth are you supposed to find the time and sift through all that clutter to find out what is right for you, and it's just basically just confusing you. So, I just want you to know that, being in this situation is not your fault. So I just got my slides mixed up. So it's absolutely not your fault. But I want you to know that that you are in the right place if you're feeling frustrated with the struggle, that if you're losing confidence because of all this, how powerful your life can be, and maybe you've tried some dieting before, but you're frustrated because you're not reaching your fullest potential. And you've heard about the success of other women who lose weight, but you've held back a little bit because you're afraid it's too time consuming, or it's too hard, or it's too complicated. So, if you're finally ready to get started in shedding some of that excess weight, that's crept up over the years, it may have been because you're sitting at a desk all day, you're living the corporate life, you have limited time to spend on yourself, but you know that you still want to, and you still need to get some results. And I have something here to help you today. So here's my promise to you, that what you're going to learn. You're going to learn the number one real reason why you haven't lost the weight yet. And this is something the industry don't really teach you. You're going to learn the 5-step system that you absolutely must master if you want results. And you need to do them in the order that I teach you. And you're also going to get some tips on how to get started today. So right after this webinar, you're going to find out the biggest mistake that people make when trying to lose weight and what you need to do instead. So just let me tell you a little bit about me. I don't want to bang on about it too much, but just basically growing up, I struggled with my own body issues for a long time, had a very poor vision, of myself. I lacked a lot of confidence, and at times, I don't know if you heard the term black dog, basically with depression. I lived in with this dark cloud just hanging over my head, and I just wasn't happy in my 20s and 30s because of the way I looked, and I was very self-critical. I felt I wasn't good enough and constantly compared myself to others. So fast forward, the difference is now I've found the solution, okay, and I apply the solution daily. I'm going to repeat that. I apply it daily, and very, very important. What I'm saying there, I'm going to share, how and what I did with you today. The health, fitness, and food industry does have has a lot to answer for. It's time for us to wake up that it is just all big business, and this is your opportunity to really regain your health and your life and be the best that you can be. I've been involved in the health and fitness industry for over 27 years, either as a personal trainer, a food coach. The last 7 years, I've managed multiple corporate health and wellbeing programs. I get it. I've lived the corporate life. I see it. I hear it daily of the challenges people face, sitting at a desk all day. And just trying to balance that whole, or you've heard the term, the work-life balance. So just trying to juggle life and work at the same time. And I know what works and I know what doesn't. I know how to find that balance. So you can either go the long road and do it all yourself, and I encourage you to do if that's what you want to do, or you can listen up today, take some tips from me. At the end, I am going to give you an opportunity to work together, which I'll share with you at the end of the webinar. So please do stay to the end, and hopefully you will obviously get some golden nuggets throughout the webinar. I want you to know that there's something uncomfortable in me to actually see people struggle to lose weight. There really is. Or to struggle with, or to cope with life's challenges, because I was that person too. And I know how emotionally draining it can be. And what I want for you is to gain success and regain that control and lose the weight that you've always wanted to lose. And I truly want to inspire you to make the decision today to be the best that you can at work, in your personal life, and most importantly, just to yourself. I'm no doubt about it, a health advocate. But the reason why I'm so passionate about, health is, what I'm really passionate about is living with a healthy mind, because you need to have a healthy mind first, and then the body will follow. Now, without a healthy mind, how are you supposed to even have a healthy body? And the number one reason why you haven't lost weight yet, I can tell you right now, is because your mindset is holding you back, and your self-image, your current self-image, is holding you back. Unless you have a healthy self-image or a good relationship with yourself, then how is your body supposed to respond? For years I wanted a good body, but I was sad and depressed and just so conscious about my body that I wasn't good enough or wasn't worthy enough to have it like all these other women. And, the way I treated myself mentally really impacted on the way, impacted my weight. But I was absolutely determined to find the solutions. And I've spent thousands of dollars on personal development courses, thousands on health, fitness, and food coach training, and I'm qualified to teach this stuff. I've done tireless research between someone's mindset who actually wants a healthy life, and someone that goes out and loses weight and really goes for it, and someone who doesn't. I've taken the best of what I've learned, I've implemented, I've tweaked, and I've tested it on my clients, and it absolutely works. Like I said, I have compassion for people who don't know the answers, and I really, really want to help you here today. So I can tell you now that the benefits of losing weight and being healthy far, far outweigh the struggle that people go through if only you were shown the right way and what to do. But I do understand there is so much conflicting information out there. So I want you to know that by hanging around in this webinar, there's a few things. Firstly, you're actually closer than what you think. You really are. And what you're going to do is, you not only want to look good, but you want to feel amazing, right? It's more importantly that we feel good. And I want you to know that, you're going to exude confidence. You're going to love being in your own skin. You're going to be able to wear what you want. You'll be a role model in society to your work colleagues, to your family, your friends, your children. You're going to be someone that people aspire to. You're going to have a lot more energy. You're going to get a lot more done. You're going to be a lot more productive. And you're basically just going to be, more enthusiastic about life again. And you're actually a lot closer than what you think. We just need to tweak a few things. So I really do, like I said, make sure you stay right to the end. But this is where we're going to get into the 5 steps to the sustained weight loss. And the key word there is sustained, because I can give you what you need to lose weight very quickly, but what we want is lifelong sustained success. And the tips that I'm about to share with you now is going to give you that if you master them in the order that I teach you. So the very first step is key number 1, which is create a new self-image. Because if you currently have thoughts fleeting through your mind that you're not good enough or attractive enough, or you're not smart enough, or you're not pretty enough, or I'm overweight, all those sorts of things, well, then your current self-image is actually doing you a disservice, and it's landed you in the position that you're in right now. So how do we change this? Well, what we need to do is we need to change your thinking, because thinking is, we're all capable of thinking. So we need to change your thought pattern. Now, stick with me here in the next slide, because some of you may have heard this concept before and just sort of brushed over it, and it may be totally new for others. But I want you just to hear me out here. So your mind has two parts. We have a conscious mind and you have a subconscious mind. And the conscious mind is is your intellectual mind. It's where you do all your thinking and dreaming, and you make conscious choices about your life and your everyday life. Your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. And I want you to think of it like a filing cabinet, and inside this filing cabinet you've got a whole heap of like smaller little files. It's where all the past experiences, thoughts, feelings and emotions get stored away from when you were a child, from the minute you were born, or actually pre-born, but that's another story, from when you were born right up until today. So all these thoughts, feelings and emotions get stored in the filing cabinets, where they want to go. So through our eyes, we have around 40 to 60,000 thoughts per day. They get filtered through our eyes. Our mind internalizes them and stores them away in these filing cabinets. And this information creates your actions, okay? And your actions then vibrate out to the universe. And, let me give you an example. Have you ever been in the car and you hear a song on the radio and automatically you feel an emotion to the song? So it may be a happy song. You think, oh, I remember this song, and it takes you back to a time it was a really happy moment and you have some really good feelings and emotions. Or it may be a sad song, okay, and it might bring, a sense of sadness, come over you because of the lyrics of the song or whatever. Well, this is your subconscious mind pulling out that file to remind you of that experience. Now, your subconscious mind is like a sponge and it soaks up everything, all your thoughts, everything. And this is actually what it's designed to do. But what happens is a lot of people just go along their everyday life and just allow all these thoughts and feelings to come into their subconscious mind, and they allow the subconscious mind to control their thoughts, and which then controls their actions, and it's how they vibrate out to the universe. But this is something that I'm really passionate about and I think should be taught in schools. I really, really do. And that is how to think, how to use our highest function, and how to use our mind to think how we want it to think. So, and not just be on autopilot. So think about it. Do you get up in the morning and do you even think about what you're thinking about? Or do you just get up and just sort of go about your day and let your mind sort of control your day? And if you're feeling sort of tired and grumpy, well, then you may be tired and grumpy all day. But we actually have the power to change our mindset right here, right now, in this very instant, that we can choose to happy thoughts, or we can choose to feel how we want to feel. So let's bring it back to weight loss. So you find someone who has all the information about weight loss. They know everything. They've got all the information, but they still can't get the results. They're confused because they didn't know how to get the results, because they didn't know how to use their mind to get the results. Okay, so once they learn how to change their thinking, it's only then that they can act on it and create the change they want to change. Because what we need to do is we need to rewire your subconscious mind to allow you to control what you think. This is a very, very big missed opportunity. And this is why one person will create a healthy change in their life and the other one won't. It's the way they think. So your logic is controlling you, but what we need to be here is be illogical and reframe and retrain and ingrain in your subconscious mind new thoughts and images, because your subconscious mind can't reject any thoughts. It has to accept them. So if we do this over and over, it learns to accept new thoughts, and your default thinking becomes like it's a new pattern. So this is absolutely great news, because your subconscious mind, like I said, can only accept thoughts, meaning it's pliable. Think of it like it's plastic. It's like rewired, remolded, and we can definitely create new images and new thoughts, implant them in your mind. And if we do this daily, we can definitely, you watch what happens when you do this over and over. We just have to learn to use it properly. So if we build an image in our mind, like I said, and we get sort of emotionally or immersed in it. So think of yourself as an actress, and you're getting really immersed in that role or that character as an actress, and really emotionalize it and feel it. And you do this, like I said, over and over, and you just watch what happens. I've done it as proof. My clients are doing it every single day, and it's basically like magic, but it does take commitment and work. So if your current self-image is that you're fat, heavy, and overweight, well, then that's exactly what you get. So what we want is a new self-image. So you can take charge of your thoughts and replant those new images, because what you see on the screen of your mind is a preview of what's coming. And once you make that decision to change your thinking, there'll be a day that it'll just, the switch will just flick, it'll just happen. And once you do that, you've changed your paradigm and it will be absolutely permanent. So to imagine that you can create a new ideal body just by starting to focus on a new image, and just watch what happens after that. And we really delve into this in my 90-day weight loss program. And it's the very first module of the program where we delve, like I said, right into it. And I help you regrain and reframe your subconscious mind, and I actually guide you and help you through that. And once you do this, you'll have a newfound respect for yourself, because you are worth it. You've sacrificed long and hard, in your career, helping other people. And as a result, you've gained weight, you've lost energy, and you've just lost a little bit of your will just to be yourself. So, isn't it about time that you had a little bit more self-regard and valued who you are? I'm talking about, like, if you had a high opinion of yourself, and I'm not talking about sort of being cocky. I'm just saying if you truly valued and identified what your true core values were, then what this does is it causes you to prioritize everything else in your life. And, you become number one, and you can live knowing that you've done the absolute best for yourself, and only then can you be the best for the others. Now, this sounds a little bit woo-woo for you. I still want you to stick with me. And, even after this webinar, you can just jot this question down. I want you to ask yourself, how do I want my body to look, and more importantly, feel like? And if you've never done that and sort of visualize, how that looks or how that feels, I really encourage you to do that straight after this webinar. And that's, how do I want my body to look and more importantly, feel like? Otherwise, you'll always be on this kind of yo-yo dieting thing where you're gaining weight, losing weight, just kind of disregarding your health and just sort of going in a downward spiral. And once you develop that new relationship with yourself, you basically become your own best friend, and only then, will something, or you decide to do something about your weight. And it really is the foundation for your success. It's the inner game, okay, that we need to recreate first before we can move ahead. So that's number one, and that's a pretty biggie, okay? The step one is the mindset. And the weight loss industry don't really focus on it. They go straight in for the nutrition or the exercise part of losing weight, and they don't focus on the mindset. And it's a very, very big, and they don't actually want to, because how else would they sell you those pills and potions and stuff? Because like I said, it's absolutely just big business. So let's move into the second one now. So like I said, this is how you currently see yourself. If you're currently looking into the mirror and that's what you see, well, then that's what you're going to get back into your mind. So this is what we're doing. We're creating a new self-image. So number two is to create clear-cut focus. And the three little questions there are what, why, and when. So what I want you to do is we want to create some mental white space, and we want to get out of your head what, why, and when you want it. And we want to, exactly what you want. We want to put it down on paper. For example, what do you actually want? And is it, I imagine, you want to lose weight, hence why you're on the webinar, but, what is it that you want? Is it to lose 10 kilos, 20 kilos? What is it? Is it to gain more energy? Is it to fit into a certain dress? Do you want to fit into your skinny jeans again? What is it that you really, really want? And just jot it down, one or two things that are really, really important to you that you want. Then I want you to write down, why do you want it? And I want you to really dig deep. It's almost like you've got to ask yourself why 5 times. So think of it like an onion, and you're peeling back the layers. So, layer one, well, why do I want it? And you say, well, majority of people go, I just want to get healthier and look a bit more toned and, just look a bit better in clothes. And you go, okay, well, then why do I want that? And, maybe because I secretly want that job promotion, or I want to be respected at work, or I want to be more attractive to my partner, or even find a partner. Maybe I want to have, you want to have better sex. Maybe you want to be a role model for your kid. Maybe you want to run around with your kids. Why exactly do you want to lose the weight? And then we dig even deeper. Why do I want that? And it's almost like we get to the deep core reason. And we've become quite emotional about it, because then that is going to be our motivator moving forward. And then I want you to write down, well, when do you want it by? So if it's 10 kilos that you want to lose, a healthy range to aim for is around 500 grams to about 1 kilo per week. So if you think about it, 10 kilos, 10 weeks, maybe give yourself a bit of leeway, maybe 12 weeks. So 10 kilos, 12 weeks. And then we want to chunk it down even further. So what we're doing is we're breaking it down into smaller actionable steps. So if it's 1 kilo per week and there's 7 days in a week, then that's around 150 grams per day. So I want you to jot this down. So then I want you to ask yourself, what do I have to do today that is different, just today, to lose that additional 150 grams? And it may be to, maybe at lunchtime you want to, pop your runners on and go for a 15-minute walk. It may be that you opt for the chicken salad instead of the lasagna at lunchtime. Or it could be that you order them, you may be going out for dinner, so you order the mushroom sauce on the side rather than, slather it all over your steak. Maybe you, instead of having the Coke at 4 o'clock, you may want to have, lemon water instead. So it's those small little changes, what can I do today to lose 150 grams? And these small changes equal big results. So very, very important to do. So once you can see that once you're putting this down on paper and chunking it down into small results, small actionable steps, you can get the results. And I absolutely love doing this with my clients because it does make the process so much more simple. Now, doing this mindset work and putting all this stuff on paper, I'm not going to lie to you, let's get real. It's kind of yucky stuff, right? Like, who wants to do that? But I guarantee you, if you spend 30 minutes, an hour just jotting all this down and breaking it down, then you can really get clear on what you need to do and what step you need to take to move forward. So let's move into step number 3. And the next one is to master your relationship with food. Now, your food choices are going to be 80% of your result. And food is a big topic in itself, and we definitely don't have time on this webinar. But let me just give you some guidelines straight up. And I'm going to give you 3 rules, okay? Because like I said, food is going to be 80% of your result. So 80% of the time, if we can eat clean, then we've still got 20% to play with to enjoy a treat from time to time. But we've really got to focus on the 80%, especially for at least, I'd say, 3 months, okay? So the first one is that you need to eat every 2 to 3 hours. So there's a reason why you need to do this. And when I talk about having a meal, I'm not referring to, a large plate of food. A meal could be a snack like an egg or, rice cakes with some almond butter or an almond spread, or it could be a banana. But at the end of the day, we want to train your body to eat every 2 to 3 hours because we want your body to metabolize food every couple of hours. And what this does is that it keeps your insulin at a sustained level. So there's no peaks and troughs. And the idea, when it comes to weight loss, you want to keep your insulin nice and sustained and nice and low. We don't want it to peak up and down. We just want it to be on one level. Now, the next one I'm going to teach you the rule number 2. If there's anything you take from this webinar, I want you to take rule number 2. It is absolutely crucial when it comes to weight loss, and that is to include protein with most of your meals. Now, our bodies are made up of gazillions of cells and they all require protein. Protein is needed for your hair, skin, bones, and your muscles. And if you want toned, dense muscle, then what we need to do is top up your protein every couple of hours because your body doesn't store protein, it gets excreted. So unlike carbohydrates, which converts into sugar or glycogen or sugar once it's in the body, when you have too much of it, it gets stored in your fat cells. And you notice this around your stomach, your hips, or your thighs, right? And what happens is these fat cells get so overloaded that they split in 2 and then they multiply over and over again, which is another webinar topic in itself. But the key to the matter is that it's important to realize that your body is 16% protein. So every single cell of your body needs protein. It's an absolute must if you want to keep your muscles firm. Now, too many women miss this step and they end up with flabby arms and legs and they wonder why they're not toned when they exercise. And protein is absolutely paramount for toned muscles, absolutely paramount. You think of your muscles, they're made up of 22 amino acids, which are basically proteins. So because it gets excreted from your body every couple of hours, we need to top it up every couple of hours. Okay, so hence why the rule number 1, eating every 2 to 3 hours with a source of protein is really, really crucial. Now, the aim is to have 1 gram of protein per 1 kilo body weight. And you might think, that's a lot of protein, but it's actually the recommended daily allowance. But a lot of women don't have enough, so they think that this is too much protein. Absolutely is not too much protein. It's just the daily standard allowance. So if you weigh 80 kilos now, you need to have 80 grams of protein. That's just as a minimum. If if your weight's training 3 or 4, 5 times a week, then we definitely need to ramp it up even more. But for now, you need to have 80 grams of protein if you weigh 80 kilos. So if you split that in between 5 or 6 meals, okay, then that's around 15 grams of protein, 10 to 15 grams, and you want to have that with most of your meals. And the beauty of having protein with most of your meals is that it stops cravings. So if you think about it and you have protein, say in the morning, like an egg, and then mid-morning you may have some nuts, lunchtime you may have, I don't know, chicken salad, in the afternoon you may have some yogurt, and then by the time you get to dinner, you're hungry, but you're not that famished, oh my God, I'm going to eat a horse kind of, really, really hungry state. So it stops, and it stops the sugar cravings. You don't necessarily crave it. You may want it, but you can sort of pass on it. So a very, very big difference on the hunger scale when you have protein with most of your meals. Rule number 3 leads me to that, which is ditch the sugar. Now, we've heard this everywhere, but when I talk about sugar, I'm not only talking about the white refined powder, that you may put in a cup of tea or coffee. I'm talking about white bread, pasta, pastries, which are carbohydrates that convert into sugar once they're in your bloodstream. This is a massive, massive topic in itself. There's movies about it everywhere now. But what happens is sugar spikes your insulin, and then you come crashing down. It basically is like a new drug, like cocaine, like ice. It is everywhere. And I'm not sure whether you're aware, but our food has changed massively in the last 50 years alone. The food industry is manufacturing our food with what's called high fructose corn syrup, along with many others, and it's basically literally frying our brains. And sugar wreaks havoc on your hormones. We have, there's a couple of hormones we have. One's called ghrelin, and ghrelin is when you're starting to feel a little bit hungry or you're feeling a bit peckish. That's ghrelin kicking in, okay? I think of it like stomach growling, ghrelin, right? So that's ghrelin. And then we have another one called leptin, and that tells our brain, our hypothalamus center of the brain, which is the appetite center, that we're full, okay? And leptin kicks in and says we're full. But what sugar does, it makes you leptin resistant, meaning your brain doesn't know when to switch off. Now, sugar is highly addictive, and you really want to make a point of learning more about sugar. It's just like the tobacco industry putting nicotine in cigarettes. The same with sugar, they're putting in our food. Okay, maybe not to that degree, but it is highly addictive, and we need to become more and more aware of it. So once we clean out your diet, and you sort of, you honestly won't know yourself. Now, like I said, sugar is everywhere, and it's very hard to eliminate it from your diet altogether. But if we can do and eliminate most sugary snacks from our diet, well, we're going to notice a massive difference. And if you want to wean yourself off sugar for 2 weeks, I highly recommend that you have a lot more healthy fats. Now, you may think, oh, isn't that going to put on weight? Well, healthy fats are really good for you, but just for 2 weeks, it's actually an investment to get yourself off the sugar, because the healthy fats will lower your insulin level, make you feel full, that you don't actually going to want the cravings. And things like salmon, avocado, coconut oil in your smoothies, and just lots of those healthy fats. So remember, everything I've told you so far is about nutrition, nutrition being 80% of your success, which does leave that 20% to enjoy things like a biscuit and cake and whatever down the track. But for now, we've really got to focus on the 80%. And then eventually you're going to get to a point where really you don't want to, because you're going to know the difference between feeling sort of crappy and feeling good. So do you want to know how to clear fog brain and get more energy? Which brings me to the next step, which you must master in this order, is to get alkalined. Now, on the scale here, we've got 0 to 14. Now, 0 being a body is acidic, meaning inflamed. So, someone that has lots of high processed foods, beers, chips, burgers, all those sorts of things. Then on the opposite scale, we have, all those lovely leafy greens. Now, we don't want to be too alkaline either on the scale, say 13, 14, because the symptoms are the same. What we're aiming for is in the middle. We can see there the pH level at 7.3. We want your body to be neutral, to be neutralized. The best things you can do is drink water. So we not only tell you to drink water because to hydrate you, your body is 75% water, but it's also to alkaline your body, to neutralize the body. So drinking water. The second best thing to do is to go green. So, there's all those lovely green foods on the right-hand side. But if you don't get enough greens, then I highly recommend that you get yourself some green superfood powder or some superfood capsules. Now, I'm not affiliated to any product, no brand or anything like that, but I do highly recommend the greens. I can't tell you when was the last time I had a cold or flu, and I put it down to simply because I have the greens every single day. It just alkalines your body, and when your body is alkalined, you won't get sick. You can't get the cold or flu when the body is alkaline. So really, really important stuff. And in terms of an energy boost, you want to really get the greens into you. Like I said, if you don't have the veggies, I don't necessarily really like steamed veggies. I have them, but I don't really like them. So on the days I don't really like them, I may make myself a green juice, or I may buy myself a green juice. Now, I know they can be costly, but it's an investment in your health. So make it when you can. But most days, if you can have a green juice, is absolutely awesome. Which gets me to step number 5. Okay, so we'll recap in a moment. We'll just get to step number 5, which is joyful ways to move your body. And it has to be fun. Otherwise, there is absolutely no point in doing exercise if you're not going to enjoy it. It will just not stick. So let's get real here. So what you need to do is you need to find and create ways to move your body. And then you need to schedule it in your diary like it's an appointment with yourself. Very, very important. Now, our bodies are designed to move. We're not designed to sit at a desk all day. And it doesn't mean that you need to become a gym junkie, but we're designed to be mobile and move, right? So you need to find what you like doing and, like I said, put it into your schedule. So if it's not scheduled, it's not real. And time doesn't discriminate. We all get allocated exactly the same amount of time. And I understand everyone has different lifestyles and different needs. But if you look at, say, people like the Prime Minister, who's flat out busy, these successful people like Richard Branson. I was managing the Flight Centre Corporate Health and Wellbeing Program, and Mr. Flight Centre earns, over $300 million a year. He's a busy, busy man, and he still finds time to exercise, mountain bike rides, plays touch footy with the guys up in Brisbane, because he truly values his health, and he knows the difference between the impact having a healthy workforce does. And this is filtered through down to the staff. When someone is inducted into the Flight Centre program, I'm really giving them a plug here, there's 10 key philosophies. And the number one philosophy is that we care about the health and well-being of our people. And it's absolutely true, because they get allocated to this, they get inducted, and part of the program is the health and wellbeing program, where they have a gym, they get health checks a couple of times a year, discounted personal training classes, those sorts of things, because he encourages his people to move, because they work in a sedentary lifestyle, sitting at a desk all day. And he knows the benefit that if they're healthier and happier outside of work, that's how they're going to come to work. That's going to impact the customers, the relationship that they have with the customers, and that's going to impact the bottom line. And look, like I said, I've been scheduling into my diary. I still do it to this day. I swear by it. For over 27 years, I've been in the industry and going to the gym, and I still schedule in my diary 11 o'clock. Around that time, I go for a walk, and around 4:30, I like to do my weights training. So that's kind of what works for me. So really, really important. And it's important when you do get started on joyful ways to move your body that, if you haven't done it for a long time, just start walking. And it could be, 2 walks a week, 3 walks a week, and aim to walk around 30 minutes a day. And now you may build that up to 40 minutes a day, 45 minutes a day. Then you may progress to the next step, walking up some hills, those sorts of things. But there will come a point and a natural progression that you will want to get into some weights training, and especially because the more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn. And for weight training, what we want is nice tone, dense muscle. And once we lose that body fat, which is the layer over the muscle, then we can see the muscle taking shape, and we have a better, well-rounded, toned body. We want to aim for 10,000 steps a day. If you don't know how many steps you move these days, all you need to do is download the app called Moves, 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 carry around your phone for a few days, and it will tell you exactly how many steps. And you really want to aim for that 10,000 steps per day. Or get yourself a Fitbit or a Jawbone, those sorts of things. But schedule it. You're definitely not going to miss an appointment with someone else, so why would you miss the appointment with yourself? And if you truly valued who you are, which brings me back to number 1, and you have a healthy self-image of yourself, and you know what your core values are, and you put yourself as number 1, well then, scheduling, an appointment with yourself, you're definitely not going to miss that appointment. And, exercising as well also is exercising your heart. I was volunteering for the Heart Foundation for many years, promoting their warning signs of heart attack campaign out at corporates. And I don't know whether you're aware, but 1 person every 12 minutes dies of a heart attack in Australia. And your heart is just is a muscle, just like your bicep muscle, and it needs a workout as well. So it's really important that we do some cardiovascular exercise, really elevate our heart rate to get the heart muscle working. So I encourage you after this webinar, just get out your diary and have a look and see where you can sort of slot in, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Where can you slot in this week that you can just go for a walk or go to a Zumba class, play some golf, whatever it is, you want to find something that you enjoy to move your body. Awesome stuff. So now, I know you probably still have some questions. I do want you to know this is not just theory. This is exactly what I did personally to create a balanced life, and I worked in the corporate world. It's exactly the same principles for all of my clients, and it's the same principles for everyone if you feel stuck in your current situation. You really got to get your head right first. only then will your body follow. You got to get really clear on what you want, and then got to get a really healthy relationship with food, and clean out your digestive system, and really understand food for what it really is. Get your body alkalined, and then get moving. And I use these exact same principles with my clients, and that I do see every day to lose weight and to create peak performance. So I know you're here because you're fed up with your current weight. I speak to a lot of women on a daily basis. It's a common problem. 70% of the Australian population is overweight. It's just getting worse. I understand it's been playing on your mind for some time. Maybe the doctor's given you a little bit of a nudge to do something. Maybe he hasn't, but we don't want to get to that point. And I know that you're keen on learning some new facts to free, and may just come along today to free up some of your time, having to sift it all through yourself. And that's fine, absolutely fine. But so let's just, like I said, do a quick recap. Create a new self-image. Really, really important that you whether you realize it or not, these sort of flitting thoughts that come up in your mind from your subconscious mind, you may not even be aware that they're there. But if you're in the situation you're in now, I can almost guarantee it's because your current self-image needs some work. You want to get clear-cut focus on where you're going. So let's just declutter everything in your mind, get it all out on paper. It is the yucky side to the process, but it's what no one teaches, and it's just got to be done. And honestly, it's so empowering and just so enlightening, and you feel free once this is all out because you know exactly where you're going. You've got that focus. Then you'll learn to create, we're going to create a healthy relationship with food, understand for what it really is, and it really does become your best friend. And we've got to get alkaline, okay? Get your body nice and clean on the inside out once we put some new foods in, and then joyful ways to get moving. So here's what just happened. We've probably nearly 40 minutes into the webinar, and you've got a decision to make. And, I want you to ask yourself, do you have the confidence to go about and do this all on your own? And I really hope that you do. If you've been jotting down some steps and you just basically hang up, put into a little bit of a plan, and you get going. And just do it through trial and error from what I've taught you today. Or you can work with me, and I want to just introduce to you my program, which is called Not Just Weight Loss, A New Way of Life. And if I can just talk for a few minutes about this, that would be great. And it really is exactly what it is. It's not just about weight loss. It is creating a new way of life forward, because it's the skills I teach you can apply to anything in your life once you master those mindset skills. It is a 90-day online weight loss program with accountability and support, and not many weight loss programs do this. In fact, I don't know anyone else that offers the kind of support that I offer. So if you think about, the people that are successful in their life, they have a coach or a mentor that guides them, helps them push through the barriers and the obstacles that that you may face along the way. You can't be expected to be a health expert or a weight loss expert, okay? Especially with all the conflicting information out there. And I encourage you that in anything that you want in your life, if you make it a priority to get a coach, whether it's your weight, whether it's business, whether it's a life coach, get a coach or get a mentor to help you, and just follow them, follow their sort of steps ahead of you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you need to do is just follow what they guide you and teach you, and you'll get the results a lot faster. Let me tell you a little secret. No one really wants to exercise or eat greens, and most healthy people just do it because they have a healthy self-image. They know the benefits of it. They understand, and they just have a different mindset around it all. And so when you, and this just becomes a natural thing. It becomes an intrinsic thing. So, some of you may be, on this call thinking, oh, she's that little voice in my, head saying, well, she's, talking directly to me, and that's okay. I wish that I had someone, years and years ago that kind of guided me and showed me, but mentors and coaches cost thousands and thousands of dollars back then. I want you to truly sort of stand up, for what you believe in. I want you to truly shed some weight, get healthy again, get your confidence back. And, this is really, really your time to, to step up. So in the first module of the program, it's called Commit to Change. This is where we really get into the mindset. I help you ingrain a new self-image. We start with a new clean slate, new blueprint. We get out on paper, those 3 little questions, and get really, really clear on where we're moving towards. Second module is about food focus. Really understand, this is a fun module actually, really understand food for what it is. We clean out your pantry, get everything ready for your weight loss program. So this is a really fun module. Module 3 is the 14-day body cleanse. It's not a hardcore detox. It's a gentle cleanse. It's not just juices, it's a whole food. So you can just follow the meal plans, the shopping list, everything is laid out for you. This is a little bit of a challenging kind of phase, but we're there guiding you and supporting you along the way. And then module 4 is the 28-day weight loss transformation. It's where meal plans and everything are done for you. If you don't like any of the recipes, you can use your own drag and drop meal planner. I guide you and show you everything in the program and how to do that. It's really, really simple to do. And that's for 28 days. And then module 5 is all about joyful ways to move your body. And I give you lots of different programs from beginner, intermediate to advanced to do joyful ways to move your body. So it could be some yoga programs at home, Pilates, walking, lots of different things. So we definitely want to keep your body moving. So your investment in the program is, all the 5 modules is $497, or I do want to make it doable for everyone and make it affordable. So there's 2 payments of $275 if you choose to do it that way. I do have some bonuses for you. The first one is you're going to get a recipe database of 1,800 plus recipes. These are awesome. And there's, like I said, the drag and drop meal planner. It's so simple just to drag and drop and see exactly what you're going to be planning and eating for the week ahead. Not only for you, but the family. It just makes it really, really easy. There's a health vault and a 2-way diary. Now, this is really important. It's where you and I will interact. You can upload any blood tests or any reports from the doctors. You and I are going to interact. I'm going to keep you accountable, going to keep you on track, and we stay close-knit and work together for 90 days, just you and I. So it's not that I just give you everything and off you go on your own. I'm going to stay with you, and any blocks or anything that's keeping you stuck, we dissolve them and help you move forward. We're going to give you lifetime discount, 10% discount to my organic shop, which is organic skincare and supplements. Like I said, I'm not affiliated to any particular brand. You can go to your local health food store if you wish, but I do have some particular brands that I do like, and that is 10% discount at organicbychoice.com.au, but you get lifetime discount. Also going to have 5 group Q&A and accountability calls. Now, this is where the rubber really hits the road. You're going to see me coaching one-on-one. You can raise your hand to be coached online. And we're going to dissolve any limiting beliefs and blocks that have been holding you back for quite some time. And this is great work, and you're going to see really how you can progress forward and really just make that big breakthrough and that big shift. And there's a closed Facebook community for paid members only. So it's an exclusive group only for paid members. There won't be hundreds and hundreds into this program. It may just be 10, 15 women, really close-knit group. I only wanted it small so we can really just get to know one another and really guide and support and celebrate each other's achievements along the way. So it's just going to be awesome. All you need to do is go to notjustweightloss.com. All the details are there. And I want to make you feel secure and safe. So I'm going to give you a 7-day money-back guarantee if you wish. So if you join the program today, you download all the materials, and you do module 1, you do the work, you show me the work that you've done. And if after 7 days you feel like this is just not for me, I'm not getting it, it's not the right time for you, well, then that's fine. You just hand in your work and I will give you your money back, because it's not your fault. You're not ready at that stage. But it's the guarantee is not for change of mind. I only want to work with people who are seriously committed, because I'm all about transformation. I'm all about results. And you have my word, I'm with you for 90 days. And just imagine in 90 days that you could be losing 10 kilos. Just imagine what that would be like. And wearing your old clothes again that you want to wear, having more energy, having a clearer mind, clearer skin, people commenting and, complimenting you. Like, that's possible, absolutely possible. And that's what I want for every single, woman in my program. And that's why I really just want committed people in the program. So all you need to do is go to notjustweightloss.com. And like I said, I want to make it doable for everybody. It's $497 or 2 payments of $275. So any questions, pop them in the questions box now. I can see we do have a couple of questions, so I'll get to them in a moment, or raise your hand. So if you decide to not join me on the program, I just want to, thank you so much for coming along to the webinar. I want to wish you every success and every health, and really just keep, encouraging you to strive forward and to find someone that you do resonate with. If you didn't resonate with me, find someone that you resonate with, and really just keep asking and searching for help, because I honestly do not want you to stay stuck in a body that you don't love or you're not proud of. I did it for many years. It was just a waste of time, a waste of energy, where there is so much to look forward to. And if you can just get yourself out of that, out of that sort of stuck position moving forward, honestly, it's so much better on the other side. So I really want you to keep pursuing. If you do decide to join me, I can't wait to get started. We're going to kick off our first call next Tuesday night. I think it is on the 1st, so at 8 p.m. So you'll have a little bit of sort of pre-task work to get started. There's just short videos in there. It's not a lot of work, but it's just kind of, I don't overload you too much with information. Actually, just let me show you. I'll show you inside course. Yeah, this is it. So if you get to the dashboard, you'll have this welcome email here, which only goes for around, 10 minutes or so. Here is where you download your welcome letter and weight loss tracker, so we know exactly how we're going to track your results along the way, and also a little download there that you can fill out and to determine what your core values are in life. Then we're going to get into the modules. So there's 5 modules, and the first one being commit to change. And in each module, this is probably the biggest one. This is the yucky one, like I said, a lot of people don't like to do because it is, sort of the yucky work. On the right-hand side here, you've got this navigation panel that you just can click through from module to module. There's just a little bit of a blurb, a little bit of a video. You might have some handouts there, and then you just, go into the next module. And you can go at your own pace. There's no sort of set time frames. You've got lifetime access to all these materials, but I'll be with you closely for 90 days from when we start the program. This is the second module, so you go into it again. This is the Victor's program that I help you with. I just give you some little bit of guidelines on how to use the drag and drop meal program. Then we do the 14-day body cleanse. So you get a little bit of a body cleanse, and there's all your shopping lists and all your recipes. Oh yes, there's definitely vegan and vegetarian recipes in there as well. So I have catered for everybody. And just also, I'm not sure if I mentioned with the recipes, the database, if you're gluten intolerant or soy, or you don't like egg or peanuts, you just have to tell me what those foods are, and I can eliminate them out of the recipes. So on your end, I just filter them, and on your end, you get the recipes that are just related to you. So this is the 4-week weight loss transformation. Like I said, all the recipes. You've even got lots of additional resources there. And then we move into the joyful ways to move the body. So that's inside the program. You can just flick over, probably giving you motion sickness here. Head over to notjustweightloss.com, or I might even just put it here in the chat. So bear with me for a moment. I'll just put it here in the chat. And you can just click on the link. Not just weight loss. I've typed this so many times, you'd think I'd know it by now. Okay, so you can just click on Not Just Weight Loss, and this is just a full sales page. Gives you a rundown of everything, gives you a little bit of my story and what you're going to get into the program, all the modules and all the bonuses, and then it gives you a little bit about the guarantee, how much it costs. There's like some frequently asked questions there as well, and then you've got the 2 payment plans there. You keep scrolling. There's some testimonials here that you can read. These lovely ladies that I work with, absolutely gorgeous. They made some amazing results. And then once again is the payment plan there. So thank you very much. I will take some questions. I can see we've got a couple of questions here. Raise your hand if you have any questions. And I truly want to thank you for coming along tonight. Sorry, I've gone a little bit over. And I don't know how long we'll be on the questions for, but thank you. Keep searching, and I really honestly do wish you the best of health, and I hopefully see you inside the program. Okay, so let me just get to the questions. No one's raised their hand. That's all right, but a few scaredy cats here, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is just go through the questions. Jackie says, I'm going away for 2 weeks. Jackie, that's fine. If you go away for 2 weeks, absolutely no problem. There is, all the recordings will be in the Q&A section anyway, so you're going to get a recording of all the calls. Or I don't know where you're going, but you can obviously log in if you have internet connection. If look, I'm not a stickler for time. So if you want to tag that 2 weeks on at the end, but at the end of the day, I'm with you for 90 days. You've got my absolute word that we're going to get you the results. So as long as you've got that, I get your commitment. And like I said, the module 1 is your commitment to change. So if I've got your commitment, I'm more than happy to work with you that little bit extra to make up for the shortfall of you being away. So don't worry about being away. Kate says, are there other payment plans? I'm a little bit short on cash. So Kate, no, there isn't. There's the 2 payment plans of $275, and I did it that way because the way the credit card system works. So you paid, say, $275 today, and then in 21 days it'll come up on your next billing cycle for your credit card. Yvonne says, I'm a vegetarian. Yep. So Yvonne, I think I answered that. There are vegetarian options as well. Margaret says, I have a sore knee. Can I do low impact? Yes. So the exercise programs, definitely there's some beginners, there's some walking programs, but obviously if you have a sore knee, I don't know how sore it is, but we can talk about that in the health vault because we'll be working closely together. And we don't really get into the joyful ways to move body until a few weeks into the program. We really focus on the mindset and the food element first. And there's definitely programs for you that you can do at home that are low impact. So I can give you access to all that. I've got lots and lots of resources, lots of exercise videos and things to give you, depending on what you need. But I don't really know what you need until we work closely in that health vault. So definitely, if you've got a sore knee or anyone else got injuries, we can definitely work around that. Do I have to follow the meal plans? No, you don't. I mean, it's highly recommended that you do. But no, you don't. In that you've got the meal plans there, but you've also got the recipe database. So we can work closely once again in the health vault in the diary, where I might suggest a few other meals that you can replace it with, and you'll see why. You'll understand why we want to replace it. Once again, we're always looking for things like, with the macronutrients, we want to look at the carbs, the proteins, and the fats. And I guarantee that if you up your protein, which a lot of women don't, if you up your protein, you will lower your carbohydrates, and it all kind of balances out. So you don't have to follow them stringently, but we definitely, I guide you. If you want to replace them, I help you do that. How much time will it take? Well, it depends on you, how much time you want to put into this, but it's all laid out for you. The first module is definitely, you want to spend maybe an hour on it, and then you maybe want to leave it for a few days, and you maybe want to go back to it, because what I'm encouraging you to do there is to really start thinking about what you're thinking about, and to jot down your thoughts and the types of language that you say to yourself. So and this, that'll be the focus throughout the entire 90 days until it sticks. So then you've got that lifetime skill. So it depends on how much time you want to put into it. The more you show up to the program, the more you're going to get results. So totally up to you, but it might take an hour or so. You're going to be preparing some food now. If that's not something that you're used to, it's going to be obviously going to take up a little bit more time. But I guarantee you prepare your food and get your meals done, you're going to save time later on in the week. So I've already answered that one. Why is my program different to others? My program is different to others because I offer the accountability and support. I don't think there's any other program where you can work closely with the coach and mentor. There's a lot of other cheaper, when I say cheaper, I'm saying like, lower dollar value, lower dollar rate in programs, but you're pretty much left on your own. They might give you all the meal plans, but it's up to you to create your own motivation and everything. I'll tell you this, motivation only lasts a couple of weeks. And I talk about it in the welcome video, that you'll be on an uphill climb because you'll be so excited, but you're going to hit a curveball, because that's what life does. It throws you curveballs, and to test your subconscious mind to see whether you're on track. So you're definitely going to hit some resistance, and we talk through that in the first module. So the difference with my program is I work closely with you for 90 days. You have access to all the materials for a lifetime. Download them, do whatever you want. But you and I will be together for 90 days, and hence why it's a little bit more, because I do give lots of value and I give lots of my attention and energy to my clients, because like I said, I'm all about results. I'm all about transformation. And, in 90 days time, just imagine what that is going to look and feel like to you. So I think that is all the questions. Just again, if you want to want your questions answered, just put them in the chat box now. And I might if anyone wants to speak to me privately, I'm actually just going to put in here a link to my calendar if you want to jump on the phone to me to have a 15-minute, if you have any questions. So just jump on that calendar. I'm making a real mess here. And you can book in a 15-minute time slot where we can have a chat. So once again, thanks for your time. I wish you all the best. We're just on the hour now, so a little bit over. Wish you the best of health, I really do, and I hope to see you on the inside. Cheers. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. This is Ireene.